Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is August 1st, 2025, and this is my weekly market review. We're reviewing the Dow 30, that's DIA, on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading. So please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right, let's take a quick look at these charts and see what we see here on the Dow. The Dow couldn't cross my line. Number one, we're turning red on the Dow here. This is just the first day of the month, though, so don't get too crazy. Don't get too excited. You get a little red month, and this thing can turn back around. It can turn back around this month. But that's what we see right here, right now. I kind of expected to have a hard time up here. I didn't know if it was going to actually break this high and start giving us new highs or not. Seems like it's showing us that it's going to be a little bit of a hesitation before we get across there. Let's go ahead and go down to the monthly chart and see what we see here on this monthly chart. On this monthly chart, the big thing here, we are still above the 9-10 moving average. That's this blue line right here. We are look like this is just the first day. This is the first day, so don't get too crazy. Look like we might want to start forming an evening star up here. And all this is a monthly chart, so we got 30-some days. We got quite a few more days to see how this candle is going to actually play out. And I say this candle, I mean this red candle that we have right here. You know, is it going to stay red? Is it going to turn green next week? What's going to happen? We're early in the month. Do not get too crazy about what's going on here at this time. But let's go ahead and go down to the weekly chart and see what we see there. On this weekly chart, zoom, 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 zoom. Let me back up just a little bit because it's something that I really want to show. Because again, if you got those of you who watch my videos and been watching them for some time, you see this red line that I have here, and it's been here for the whole while. And this is the point where I think the market is going to have a hard time getting across. You know, I said kind of like no trade recommendation. I said kind of be careful about selling your stuff because this selling your stuff up here at this area. If it's going to actually break there and get you a close above there, you know, you need to do something real quick. But we didn't get that close, and we ended up we couldn't get a higher high. We couldn't get above last week's high. You know, now that means, and again, it all comes back to this supply that's over here. That's what's kind of holding this market right now. And we kind of expect some kind of event or something to happen in the world to get this market to do what it did. That's the way some of us are when it comes to this stuff. You say, yeah, it was that. But the market, you know, it's at a point where it's going to have a rough time anyway. So any little thing, and you get what you get right here. You know, a pretty good drop, and that's what we see. And come next month, the other thing is come next month, we're going to be we're already at a support 1 level, you know, look like. The thing is, if we end up doing that, we easily can come back down here to this level, and this green line here is our 50 moving average. We could come back down here and bounce off this 50 moving average based on what I'm seeing here on this weekly chart at this time. But that's that. Let's go ahead and go down and take a quick look at the daily chart and go ahead and wrap this on up and see what happened here this past week. And this past week, this is the thing that was the warning sign. First day, you know, we couldn't close above, you know, we didn't get anywhere closing above previous day high. And it looked like we was wanting to go up and start fighting for these tops and stuff. And then we just started getting lower highs and lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. It lets you know that that's the trend. That's what a trend, lower highs, lower lows. You got a downward trend. So this week we had a downward trend. You know, it showed you at the beginning of the week. You know, if you pay attention, I know the candles. You had a bearish harami at the top, in the right location, at a supply level, and where you do not expect this market to go down. This is where you take your chance, and no trade recommendation, but this is where you will, if you did take a chance, and this is where you have your stop at. You know, it's less than $1. You know, it could be less than a couple of dollars away. If you want to take that chance. But again, yeah, it'd be $2 or $3 because you probably wouldn't get into that until the end of this day. This confirmation candle right here. Before you would actually want to execute that trade to the downside. And now, right now, we've gapped down. And like I said, let's take a quick look at that right quick. And let me see how I can do this. I want to do it like this. Let me delete all this too. Where we kind of expect I kind of expect this thing. It can come all the way down to this level here. This is kind of like where this thing had to jump out of here. And this, as you can see, this is where this demand actually started shooting out of here and shooting back to the upside. We could come down here and maybe try to close this gap, also a little bit lower before we start getting a reversal, and as low as down here somewhere before we start getting that reversal. So again, that's what I see here on this daily picture. So be mindful of your trading plans and your trading strategies and trade accordingly. And that's all I really want to share at this time. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll talk to you next week. This is Right Side Trader. Have a good one. Bye.